cloud developing with this storm. Looking about 5 miles to the northwest of Sand Springs, that's where I'm pinpointing that tornado, or at least the potential of a tornado. So located right in this area, getting ready to cross Highway 97. This is just a couple of miles north of the Tulsa-Osage County line. This will pass north of most of the city of Sand Springs. My big concern, though, is a little further downstream as this potential tornado continues to track toward the north, toward the kind of just barely north of due east, I guess, to clarify. We're looking at a track that's going to be very, very close to Turley and towards Sperry over the next few minutes. And if this holds together, we're talking even Owasso, German Corner, Collinsville, Sperry, very close to, not drawn officially in this polygon, but you need to be ready to take cover immediately. So Turley, TCC Northeast, the zoo, just on the north side of Tulsa International Airport, 724, and all the way toward Owasso between 725 and 730. Now, our Fox 23 Severe Weather Team coverage continues. Let's check in with meteorologist Ben Wallach. And Ben, our Skyview network of cameras giving us an unmatched view of this very ominous wall cloud.
Yeah, if we could take this full screen, I can show you 4 different views we're seeing of the storm right now, and you can see the labels on here. First, our East Tulsa Skyview. This is from the Fox 23 studios looking to the northwest, north of downtown. This is the area we're watching for that rotation, and you're seeing that on 2 of our other cameras as well. The North Tulsa Skyview we've been showing you a lot of from Turley looking to the west, looking a little bit more raggedy, not really as pronounced of a lowering as we were seeing just a few minutes ago. And then our Tulsa International Airport view, a little bit tilted a little bit higher. In fact, I can tilt that down just a tad so you can see that view there from the terminal, as we'll try to tilt things enough so that you can see it at home. And that was a little bit too far. Let's try that. And you guys can see the lowering here just above Terminal B. That is out in the distance, a good 10 miles away from Tulsa International. But this view we have from our Fox 23 Skyview in East Tulsa looking back to the northwest, still a very dangerous area that we're watching very carefully. Now, let me reset things for you. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch until 9 o'clock this evening. That does include the Tulsa Metro. That's where we have our tornado warning. And we've got some new information. Let's check in with certified meteorologist John Boyer, who continues our team coverage.
Yeah, I wanted to bring another update for that other rotating storm we were talking about near the Oklahoma-Kansas border. We have not forgotten about you in Caney and in Montgomery County, Kansas. No tornado warnings in effect at this time with this storm, but it's still a well-organized storm, still with some rotation and also very large hail that's going through Caney right now, probably golf ball-sized hail. This is all just squeaking barely to the north of Copan. Tornado warning, the one that we have right now, is there on the northwest side of the Tulsa Metro. We do now have Greg McLaughlin, our Fox 23 storm tracker, who can give us an idea of where he's at and what he's seeing. Greg, are you there?
Yes, I'm eastbound on 412, just coming into Sand Springs. Got the area of interest to my north here. Definitely has a lot of structure. It's got a wall cloud for sure, and it's hard to see because of the hills and trees at the moment. So trying to get into better range here.
All right, so Greg, we're not able to see you right now. If we could take one of the Skyview cameras while we're talking to you, that'd be great. It looks like you're about 5 miles off to the south or south-southwest of that rotating part of the storm. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm due south of it. Yes, I'm due south, and you can see a lot of structure with the storm. And we're just trying to get a north on road so we can get a good view of it here.
All right, stay safe out there. We'll be in touch. We also have our Fox 23 storm tracker, James Rogers, who is also watching this storm from southeastern Osage County. This is the one tornado warning we have right now on the north side of the Tulsa Metro. Once again, it looks like the Tulsa sirens are sounding on the north side of the Metro, and Chief Meteorologist James Adelot has had a chance to look over some of those high-resolution radar scans. What are you learning?
Yeah, right now it sounds like the Tulsa Emergency Management Authority is sounding the sirens again. In the next couple of minutes, we continue with that tornado warning. Southeast Osage County, northern Tulsa County, we have cleared Pawnee County from the backside of that tornado warning. You certainly see that hook here. On the left side of your screen, this is that large wall cloud. If we can actually pan that to the left or back to the right just a little bit, you certainly see the structure of that storm, that wall cloud, that big lowering. That's the center of circulation with that thunderstorm. So I'm going to take a look right now as we continue to update you on that tornado warning. This is the only tornado warning that we have right now. So the tornado warning remaining in effect until 7:30. That does include all of Tulsa north of I-244 as we continue to see at least the potential for a tornado developing. And what I'm looking at right now is we'll put that potential tornado just to the north of Sand Springs now, right on Highway 97. If you're familiar with this area, a lot of old TV transmitters, a lot of tall towers north of Sand Springs. You get into the higher terrain in southeastern parts of Osage County, and that's why long ago they put some of those transmitters up on that hill. Here's that 30-minute track. And again, right across North Tulsa, north side of the metro area, Turley, Sperry by 718, TCC Northeast at 722. The Dawson community, mostly an industrial area on the north side of Tulsa on the railroad. Tulsa International and the Zoo by 726. Owasso, 731. If it holds together, we're talking German Corner at 733. Our camera view, we do not see a funnel cloud or a tornado. I've seen one Twitter report of a brief tornado touchdown earlier when the storm was southeast of Westport. It's been several minutes of that, and again, it certainly looks like, now just got a new report of golf ball size hail. Where was that? And that's from Washington County, the Dewey police chief. Looking again at some of the high-resolution computer and radar data. I'm going to switch this out. What I'm looking at is just now to the north-northeast of the community of Sand Springs. There's Sand Springs, and again, this is a very serious situation. No long track tornado has been seen with it just yet, but the rotation definitely starting to increase on this storm just to the north of Sand Springs right now. I'm going to switch back over to Tulsa National Weather Service, back over as we continue to track this. And again, I'm really zoomed in. This is Pogue Airport, this is Sand Springs, this Berry Hill, Washington High School, Tulsa Tech, Peoria campus, up toward McLean High School. Here's Turley and Sperry. The circulation center is right here. That's what we're looking at over Tulsa International Airport right now. No tornado reported yet, but that circulation actually looks like it has increased in strength just a little bit too. And that is going to be worthy of a little bit closer examination here. We can tilt up with the storm. Yeah, this is a very strong circulation just to the north of Sand Springs. Let me jump back. We're going to do an updated track on this storm. Again, right across northern parts of the city of Tulsa and towards Turley and towards Sperry. So we'll keep that circulation along maybe just to the east of Highway 97 right now, the 30-minute track, right across North Tulsa. Turley, TCC Northeast toward the Dawson area, Tulsa International Airport and the Zoo between 720 and 730. Owasso, 731, and toward the Tiger community on East Pine Street, north of Catoosa by 734. Now, I know my mom's probably watching this very concerned. She's south of Admiral, probably okay, but needs to watch this very closely. Further south, you've heard the tornado siren sound, probably 2 cycles of tornado sirens, but the danger is north of 412 right now, and we're really locked in on that increasing rotation that's very, very close to Highway 97. And again, as we join KRMG and our radio partners, 102.3 and AM 740, the circulation that we're seeing just to the north of Sand Springs. This is Highway 75 in Chautauqua County, Kansas, up north, it looks like, of Bartlesville from that earlier thunderstorm. Continues to see a pretty good wall cloud. Where's the locator? Was that locator right? Okay. Okay, this is video from Prue near Osage County. So this is the storm we're tracking as it continues to move to the east. Now, continuing to watch that circulation on Fox23 Doppler radar. We're just to the northwest of downtown Tulsa right now. If we can, let's jump back to one of our tower cameras, a little more stable view. Here's downtown Tulsa. This is the potential tornado right now. Now, at Fox23 studios, I think we're going to be just fine. This path is going to be north of us. Here is the circulation center. This is going to be really, really close to the Gilcrease Museum as it continues to move toward the east. High-resolution radar imagery. Let me tell you, folks, if you are north of Admiral, 244, 412, you need to be in a safe place. Lowest level, Center Park, smallest room of your house. If you're in a mobile home, you need to get out now. If you are heading to shelter, grab a helmet if you can to help protect you from head injuries. Take a whistle with you in case there is damage. You can alert rescue crews that you are in a sheltered area and help them find you faster. Just northwest of Washington High School, this is moving toward the east-northeast. This is deadly serious. We don't have a confirmed tornado with it right now, but it is very, very close. we continue to see this very strong wall cloud and very strong circulation with this storm. So very serious storm for North Tulsa County, and this is going to be moving across Cincinnati, then Peoria, all the way back over across Lewis, crossing Highway 75, probably very close to the Whirlpool plant, and maybe just as far north as the new Macy's area too, the new Macy's distribution center there on the west side of the city of Owasso. So we're talking, I'm just going to zoom all the way in here and rattle off some schools for you too. Gilcrease Elementary School. There's McLean High School, Tulsa Tech, Peoria campus. Here's Washington High School. Here's the circulation. If it continues on its present track, it looks like maybe stay just north of Pine or Apache in North Tulsa. But this circulation definitely ramping up. We need to pan that tower cam view over back to the right again a little bit more, if you could, please, as we continue to see this very serious storm move right into northern parts of the city of Tulsa. So this is our tower cam view. Again, we're going to have some tower apparatus there in the way. That cloud structure sticking out of the west side of that storm, or out of the east side of that wall cloud, actually called a beaver tail. So again, yeah, looking at the radar dome camera, again, I don't see any evidence that we have a tornado actually occurring right now. Kind of got the split screen between two views. Definitely a lowering here. This is our radar view camera. This is from just to the southwest of Turley. Watch the base of the clouds. You can actually see the rotation in real time. This is a very strongly rotating wall cloud. Folks, this could produce a tornado at any time in North Tulsa. I'm going to call the danger area from Pine Street north all the way to about 86th or 96th Street north, all the way from Highway 97 back into North Tulsa now. I'm going to take that danger area all the way east across Tulsa International Airport, all the way east to Owasso and German Corner. If this holds together, we're going to extend that warning into southwestern parts of Rogers County too. So we are watching this very, very closely. I'm going to kick back on the high-resolution radar, and again, the circulation is just, it's very, very strong with this storm, and rotation appears to be 43rd Street North, just to the north of 36th Street North, just west of Tulsa Tech Peoria campus. I'll kick back on the velocities for you right here, and this is a very serious storm passing just to the north of downtown Tulsa. Here is the danger area. This is getting very, very close to populated areas in North Tulsa, Tulsa Tech Peoria campus. Here's McLean High School. No tornado sighted or funnel cloud with it in the last few minutes. Earlier, closer to Westport, we did have at least a brief tornado. I'm telling you, visually on this storm, it looks like it's capable of producing a tornado. The left side of your screen over here, that is the view from our tower cam. If we can replace that and go to the airport camera, okay, we're going to watch this very, very closely. If this thing's going to produce a tornado, it may be very, very close to producing a tornado. Right side of your screen, this is what I'm looking at over here. High-resolution Doppler radar data just west of Tulsa Tech. Here's Tulsa Tech, Peoria campus. This is Peoria. Burroughs Elementary, Frost Elementary, north along Cincinnati, all the way up toward Greeley and Gilcrease right now. Here is McLean High School. This is North Peoria. Again, here's the circulation. Very bright reds indicate wind moving away from the radar. Very bright greens, wind moving back toward the radar. And it's very, very tight. This is a very tight circulation. This could produce a tornado at any time. So that's why we're watching it very closely. Let's check in with John Boyer. John?
Perspective from the Broken Arrow radar, high resolution 1-minute updates in this data.
New sirens, the third cycle of tornado sirens sounding.
Sirens going again. Again, if you're right. If you're within 5 minutes or 10 minutes of the Gilcrease Expressway on either side, you need to be taking tornado precautions. We have our storm tracker, James Rogers, on the line. James, are you there? Where are you at, and what are you seeing?
Right now, I'm at 88th Street North and 52nd West Avenue. I just got out of some pretty heavy hail. I was pretty much in the rotation when it crossed 52nd West Avenue, and I had to draw it back to the north.
Sirens going off for Owasso.
We have a cloud developing right now. This is our radar dome camera that we've been watching very closely. You can see downtown Tulsa in the distance. Let's go split screen really quickly so we can pinpoint exactly where this is. I am looking in North Tulsa. This circulation is spinning up dramatically and very quickly right now. And you can see that very large funnel developing on our radar camera. This is looking south from 66th Street North and Cincinnati. This is the circulation. Very strong reds, very strong blues, very bright colors here. That's the circulation developing. Tulsa Tech Peoria campus. Here is Frost Elementary School. We are looking north of downtown Tulsa right now. And right now, again, as John said, that danger area anywhere along the Gilcrease Expressway, I'm going to keep it from Pine Street north all the way to 66th Street north. Updated track on this storm, and mercy, you can see the wall cloud on that and the funnel cloud right now on the shot. Starting to get some rain curtains wrapped around in the circulation, obscuring downtown just a bit. What do you got? Okay, let's go back over on the left side of the screen if we can take our airport cam right now too. I'm going to update the track while we do that. And certainly you can see that broad-based funnel right there. It looks like this potential tornado now has just crossed the county line, which would be North Cincinnati. Updated track, Turley, the zoo, toward the community of Mingo, over toward Owasso. If it continues moving to the east-northeast, that takes the danger area north of our friends in the Tiger community. But folks, let me tell you, in Turley, you need to get to a safe place right now. The zoo, Tulsa International Airport, all the way over to Owasso. Watch this very closely in German Corner, very close to the Whirlpool plant. And a new tornado warning now just issued for Nowata and Washington County. There's that storm right now. I want to update you. Okay, we do have power flashes. Go back to radar camera, please. On the left side of your screen, we'll update you. This is actually a very strong circulation. Okay, we apparently have a tornado occurring right now in North Tulsa. We've seen power flashes. We'll continue to watch this. You know what, let me do a track on this. As soon as I get this track done, and I'm going to read through the towns affected here as this storm moves out of Washington toward the city of Nowata. This could be serious. Cooties Bluff and Nowata by 7:30. Let's jump into that camera on the left side of your screen. Let's take that full if we can. Meteorologist Phil Price has seen some power flashes on this. We do see rotating rain curtains right now. We don't see a visible funnel cloud, but as I told you just a few minutes ago, oftentimes we don't need a visible funnel cloud to actually have the wind of the tornado actually on the ground doing damage. Yeah, the terminal Doppler's just incredible picture. Let's go back. Let's go back full split screen. We'll keep this view on the left side of your screen. And as I take a little high resolution radar view, look how much this is wrapped up. This is a little bit of an old image right now, just a couple of minutes old. We'll get a live update here in just seconds, but this is crossing the county line from Osage County into North Tulsa right now. Okay, radar dome is on right now.
According to our storm tracker, Greg McLaughlin, am I over here?
Yep, turn John on, please.
Storm tracker Greg McLaughlin says debris in the air, tornado 36th Street North at Martin Luther King. 36th Street North, Martin Luther King, he has seen debris in the air. So obviously with the power flashes, we have an indication this is a tornado. It is doing damage. If you're around McLean High School or points east, tornado precautions immediately.
Okay, thank you, John. Again, we're watching this very closely. I'm going to go back to INX, and we've got a very, very strong rotation right now. We have it looks like, yes, we have a tornado debris signature on Fox23 Doppler radar, where you see these blue pixels. Look at the power flashes on the left side of your screen. We've got a tornado occurring right now in North Tulsa. It is moving toward Peoria Avenue. It is moving very close to McLean High School. If you are in, let's go back to airport cam if we can. Airport cam on the left side of the screen, thank you. This might be a little bit better view. Our radar camera is starting to get a little bit more obscured. Tornado on the ground right now in North Tulsa, very close to McLean High School, crossing over Peoria Avenue right now. We look at reflectivity. This is right on top of McLean High School. Lowest level, center part, smallest room of your home. get into a safe room or basement if you have one of those. If you're in a mobile home, you need to get out of that mobile home, have a helmet, have a whistle. If you're home alone, maybe mom or dad not home yet, get into the center part of your home. The idea here is to get as many walls between you and the outside as you possibly can. We've had a tornado produce damage right now in North Tulsa. Let's check in with John Boyer. I'm going to jump on social media right now.
And we do not want to forget, too, we also have a tornado warning that is in effect until 7:45. Nowata is in the path of a possible tornado. It does include a part of Washington County. It's a very small part of Washington County. If we're able to show weather for very quickly in that other side, there we go. This is Bartlesville. You're not in the tornado warning. The possible tornado is about 12 miles to your southeast in Bartlesville. Here's Nowata. Possible tornadoes about 10 miles off to your southwest. This storm is continuing to organize, so take tornado precautions in Nowata and in the community of Delaware. Glen Oak, this is just off to your south in Glen Oak, but could be some severe hail right around Glen Oak. So we are also watching this tornado threat for Nowata. And also the tornado threat, a tornado that is occurring right now in North Tulsa. We can talk to James Rogers right now, our Fox 23 storm tracker. James, where are you at and what are you seeing?
I'm on 43rd Street.
You still with us, James? Sounds like we.
Hear me?
Yes, James, where are you at and what are you seeing?
Yeah, I'm on 43rd Street North heading back into Tulsa, coming far from Cincinnati, and everything that I can see from this side is it's rain wrapped, and I can't really see anything at all from the backside here.
All right, so you're heading southbound?
Down 40th Street North back into the city.
Excellent. All right, be safe out there. We'll stay in touch. Let's get back over to Chief Meteorologist James Adelon.
Okay, again, we're switching over to studio camera on the left side of the screen. We continue to see what appears to be kind of a rain-wrapped tornado right now in North Tulsa. This is very close to McLean High School as it continues to move. Let's go ahead and let's take weather 1, please, on the right side of the screen, and we'll update you on the 2 tornado warnings. 1 right now is as close to a tornado emergency as we're going to get for North Tulsa right now. We likely have a tornado occurring right now. I'm going to zoom all the way in, update the track, because this is critical. This is deadly serious right now. Approaching Highway 75 is the likely tornado. Again, it looks like the tornado has managed to wrap rain around it. We talk about a rain-wrapped tornado or a tornado occurring in rain. It makes it visually very difficult to see if the tornado is actually still on the ground. Our meteorologist Phil Price, our whole Fox 23 severe weather team is here. We've had indications on Fox 23 Doppler radar that we've had debris with this storm being tossed up in the air. Here's the track, the latest track over toward Mingo, 729. That goes for Owasso. I'm going to keep that danger area a little bit further south too, because sometimes as these thunderstorms may take a little bit more of a right turn, but right now it looks like we're going to be able to clear everyone south of 36th Street North. So 244 all the way south to I-44. Broken Arrow Expressway, City of Broken Arrow, you are clear from this thunderstorm. But north of 36th Street North, including the zoo, Tulsa International Airport, Mingo, Tiger, maybe on the south edge of that, but all the way up toward Owasso, the Whirlpool plant too. Let's check in with Ben.
Circulation right now is crossing right over Highway 75 right now. Zoomed in onto my high-resolution Fox 23 Doppler radar at this time, and we are seeing the rotation crossing right over at this time. Right over, it looks like, right over the highway. In fact, right here you can see the area of rotation is right here crossing Highway 75. That's just south of the Whirlpool plant, right here, just north of 36th Street. That's an update to the tornado warning there. Let me go ahead and clear things off on the screen, and we'll go back to Fox 23 Doppler radar. The wide view here, we've got 2 separate tornado warnings that we're tracking. One just in northern parts of the Tulsa Metro, another one now moving into southwestern parts of Nowata County. I'll drag in my computer here, and we're going to zoom straight into the storm that we're tracking very carefully in northern parts of Tulsa County, and that is crossing right over on Highway 75. So I'm going to take off the lightning. I'm even going to take off the warning so you can get a really clear view of this storm right now. And this is the area we're watching right here. just crossing over Highway 75. It's now east of McLean High School and on this current track right over into Mohawk Park and the zoo. So right just north of Mohawk Boulevard right here, you can see this is the area we'll be watching. That classic hook we talk about, it's the tip of the hook right here where we're seeing the potential tornado right now. What you're looking on the side of the screen is Tulsa International Airport sky view. This storm is moving basically straight for the airport or just north of the airport. Here's the airport in the bottom corner of your screen right here. So on this current track, it would pass just north of the airport, but we'll have a view here from the terminal. And at this time, we still cannot see if there is a tornado occurring at this time, at least a funnel, at least a rotating wall cloud, and reports that we've had debris in the air. So definitely a tornado touchdown in northern parts of Tulsa County. This is the area that continues to show that rotation, this classic hook, southeast of Turley, northern parts of officially in Tulsa. And you can see here on the screen, that is 56th Street. So the area of rotation just south of 56th Street. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist James Adelot.
Okay, the high resolution radar, we're looking at a very strong indication we still have a tornado occurring. This is Mohawk Golf Course. The zoo, this is going to pass just north of Tulsa International Airport. This is O'Brien Park. So here is the circulation, and I'm going to switch radar modes here. This is the bottom of the Hook Echo. Now we're going to go to dual pole Doppler radar. And you can see this blue. We've talked about how there's rain wrapped around this circulation. This is our confirmation that this tornado is still occurring. It is lofting debris. That is that darker blue that we're seeing right now. We do have it on? Okay. Yep. Okay. We do have airport cameras. We're looking on the left side of the screen. We have seen that tornado occur just again. We've gotten a visual on that tornado just in the last few minutes. We also have, now we are confirming, Weather Service has gone to confirm tornado for that storm. Okay. This is also very serious in Nowata right now. I've pushed right up to the north. Go to the airport cam full screen. Get it to the right if we can. Okay, we've frozen again. Look at that tornado. There is a large tornado right now in North Tulsa. Large tornado, trying to pan that camera. Okay, let's go back to our, actually we may be able to see that back from our radar camera too, if we can take a look. Okay, still on airport cam. Okay, tornado precautions, Owasso, Mingo, north side of Tulsa International Airport. This is a tornado emergency. We have a tornado on the ground.
Take weather 3.
Take weather 3 right now. Weather 3, weather 3, weather 3.
Weather 3. There it is, on the screen.
Okay, right on side of the screen. Look at it kicking up debris right now over that hangar. And it's you can see one of those vortex, one of the sub vortex on that tornado. This is a big tornado. The funnel cloud's not all the way to the ground, but this tornado has done damage. You can see the little individual vortex on that tornado whirling around. Look at that, multiple vortex tornado right now in North Tulsa. That means
3 miles off to the northwest.
Yeah, we're looking 3 miles northwest of Tulsa. So again, let me tell you folks, not only Owasso, German Corner, I'm going to rattle off some towns here. A lot of this is going to be right over the Bird Creek area. This is on 56th Street North right now. It is going to be moving to the east-northeast. This is going to be moving into Owasso, parts of Owasso. If you got family, relatives there, let's go back over to our tower camera. That may be our next best shot of seeing this thing. It's moved off the right side of the screen. There we go. Left side of the screen. This is our view from 26th and Memorial. We've got a large tornado moving across North Tulsa right now. I mean, let me tell you, folks, this is deadly serious. Lowest level, center part, smallest room of your house. Get in a safe room or basement if you have it. Anywhere north of Apache, probably up to 36th Street North. I expect this tornado warning to be continued into parts of Rogers County too. We also have a tornado approaching the city of Nowata. I'm going to examine this one a lot closer too, and I'm going to update you on the track of this tornado warned storm as it moves toward the community of Nowata. Look at that storm on the left side of your screen. That is the tower cam view from Tulsa. Tilt that up, please. Thank you. Nowata, take your tornado precautions right now. East along Highway 60, all the way over to Cooties Bluff. Tornado warning right now, southern parts of Nowata County. Going to jump back over into North Tulsa right now. The high-resolution Doppler radar. Here's the Whirlpool plant. We talked about that north side of Tulsa International Airport. This is the Air National Guard. This is 46th Street North, American Airlines Maintenance. This is the Army National Guard. You're familiar with that, seeing the helicopters parked there on the west side of 169. This is going to be passing just north of 46th Street North. This is in the Bird Creek Bottoms, thankfully, right now. A very sparsely populated part of Tulsa County, thankfully. This is mostly floodplain, and we continue to see this. I'm going to check the correlation coefficient again. Wow. We have a tornado debris signature right here. This is proof this tornado is on the ground, even though we're not seeing the funnel cloud. So we've got a tornado occurring in the Bird Creek Bottoms right along 56th Street North. This is moving up toward 169. This is 66th Street North all the way up to Owasso. Here's Bailey Ranch Golf Club, anywhere from Bailey Elementary School in Owasso all the way south to 36th Street North. You need to be in a place of safety right now. I'm going to kick back over to Fox23 Doppler radar right now. Move that over just a bit. Checking the latest. You folks in Nowata need to take your tornado precautions right now. We'll have John's going to prepare an update for Nowata here in just a second. But